What is up? We are back in black in the building, man. What is going on? Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation. Shout out to everybody out there. David, no compromise, my brother. I see you. Shout out to everybody. Eric, Ashani, Tasha. You already know who it is. Man, interesting day. You already know. Did you just come back today? You already know I'm going to hit y'all with that. Shout out to Mariah, everybody out there, man. Man, we got some lovely stuff to discuss. And we are going to get into it. And we're going to handle business today. It's going to be a real quick one. Real quick. We're going to discuss the real dope dealers. We're going to, you know what I'm saying, everybody, a lot of my brothers and sisters, black brothers and sisters are locked up. They did mandatory minimums in the 94 crime bill, but you got dominant society people out here just pushing dope all over the goddamn country. You got Joe Biden's son just being a dope fiend, just straight doing crack in the goddamn strip club. But we're going to discuss this, and I'm going to keep talking about this because this is stuff that's very prevalent, near and dear to my heart, because these are things that we are suffering from. Yes, let's get into it. Yeah, I was reading this article about the twin brothers, Jeff and Chris George of South Florida, claim to have made tens of millions of dollars selling painkillers. Let's see. One brother describes their operation as the Disneyland of pain clinics. Between them, Chris and Jeff George ran 4 pain clinics, other related businesses in South Florida. Their operation coincided with surge in the opioid epidemic between 2008 and 2010. When the prescription painkiller business was booming, federal officials said people across the country also were beginning to realize the toxic toll the legal drugs were taking on communities. Before this case, the public only knew that people were dying from drug overdoses. They had no idea how the system worked. McKinsey said the George brothers created the blueprint. Wow. They advertised the clinic in local newspapers and recruited doctors to prescribe the medication, offering them incentives for large and frequent prescriptions. To avoid setting off red flags, the brothers' clinics only accepted cash and credit cards, not insurance plans. According to court documents, they hired women through Craigslist to dole out the pills prescribed by the doctors. Very, very intelligent. The George brothers made it easy to get drugs at their clinic where no appointments were necessary. Patients flocked to Florida from Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and other Appalachian states ravaged by the opioid abuse. I believe we created a new form of tourism, Jeff George says in the documentary in a phone interview from prison. We were basically like the Disneyland in pain clinics. Some drug dealers drove to the clinics from Kentucky and rented houses marked Tree of Life Baptist Church to mask their criminal intentions, the film shows. So this is a documentary. It's like candy store down there. One man told FBI agent Jennifer Turner, who led the federal investigation, when asked why he frequented the George brothers' peel mills. Meanwhile, the brothers were making millions and trying to outdo each other's flamboyant lifestyles. They brought pricey watches, flashy cars, boats, and multiple homes. Jeff George drove a Lamborghini while his brother Chris had an enormous customized monster truck. I mean, they was killing it. The clinics operated like frat houses, said Derek Nolan, a longtime friend of the twins who described himself in the documentary as their right-hand man as customers waited for their next fix. Clinic employees played with remote control cars and shot each other with slingshots. The clinic fridges held beer and Patron shots, Nolan said. The clinic's cash register was too small to contain the incoming flood of bills, so employees stuffed the money in massive trash bags. God damn. They bragged about making millions over dollars in profit. The clinic referred people without MRIs to a trailer behind a strip club where they could get lap dances while waiting for new scans from sham radiologists. According to an FBI agent quoted in the film, the George brothers believe the imaging helped to make their prescription process look more genuine. The clinic's doctors were paid per person, which provided an incentive to see as many patients as possible, federal officials say. So I want to know what y'all think about this. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. This is what I think about it. Why does that surprise me? They'll get mad at Big Meech and them for doing what they do, but these are white people that got privilege, and they still decided to scam the system and run the system. They just did it what they thought was legal, but they knew that shit wasn't legal. The dominant society knows what they're doing, and I'm pretty sure that their penalties are far less harsh than Big Meech's penalties, than, any black affiliated dope dealer or alleged dope dealer. This is why I think we need to understand what the fuck is going on. I think we need to have a different understanding of our people. I know it's Black History Month. Y'all have not heard me talking about it. Every month is Black History Month to me. So I'm not going to narrow it down to February. Fuck y'all. February is the shortest month in the year and it's the coldest month in the year. So I don't want to hear that shit. They get LGBTQ June. That's when we should have our Black History Month. So no, you're not finna see me up here talking about, well, this week we gonna talk about Frederick Douglass. And then next week we gonna talk about Marcus Garvey. Nah, nigga, you should be learning that shit all year round. All year round, you should be learning that shit. And while we up here using 1 month to celebrate Black History Month and we jumping up for joy because they gave us Juneteenth, you got brothers like the George brothers just out there just dope dealing. Just fuck it, oh well. And we just now talking about right now, this shit happened in 2008 and 2010. Man, stop. But Mr. Biden go give us mandatory minimums and give us the 94 crime bill and call us predators and thugs. And I don't want these people raping my granddaughters and man, stop. While your son is in the strip club smoking crack and calling black folk niggas and shit. Man, stop. I don't want to hear that. These are just things that I think we need to understand and have a different perspective about. See, they're so quick to name us as the bad people because, there have been times where black folk have ventured off into the street life and then did things that maybe have not helped the community in certain ways. But let me tell you something. I'll look at it like this. If black folks would have done it, white folks was already doing it. You better look at the mob. Motherfuckers act like the mob wasn't selling crack, cocaine, and all that shit. They was doing that shit too. So it's so funny now. It's just so funny now that now it's being brung to the forefront. So that's why I say this. I say we need to pay more attention. We need to have a better sense of what is going on around us. We need to look at gentrification. Don't just think it's just black folk flooding the neighborhoods with the dope and the drugs. Stop being so quick to blame your brother and sister. Look at these dominant society people. Look at these crooked cops. Look at all these people. Look at all these people that are benefiting from the system and using the system for evil. And then sitting back and then having this moral compass when it comes to the black folk. No, you can't have no moral compass when it comes to us because white folk on this landmass, the United States of America Incorporated, have been the most evil, diabolical people that we know. So I think it's best that we have a better understanding. I'm going to keep saying that. And have intrinsic value. You got to have value in yourself. And if you see somebody that's kind of doing that dope, don't try to go get them no speech. Just live your life. Man, everybody want to condemn motherfuckers for doing things. When you've been put behind the line, boxed and locked out of wealth, and you don't know no other way to get any type of money for your family, you don't judge nobody, because what the fuck would you do if you grew up in poverty for real, and you had no other way out? That's why I always feel like we've been set up for failure as black folk in the United States of America Incorporated. They know that. The dominant society knows that. The dominant society knows that. Other racial groups know that. That's why they come over here and they pile on when it comes to black folk. They act like, they pile on and they act like, oh my God, I came here and with $2 in my pocket and I built this empire. Yeah, because you were allowed to come here. You were allowed to do those things. So since you were allowed to do those things, that's why it is the way it is. Go read that article. It's on CNN about the George brothers. Just two white boys just doing the fuck they want to do. Selling dope. When we get addicted, oh, it's the crack epidemic. When white folks get addicted, oh, it's the opioid epidemic. As if white folks don't do crack and heroin and all these other motherfucking drugs. Stop. And have a sense of pride in who you are as a people. And stop waiting till somebody say, oh, it's Black History Month, so now you can celebrate Black History. No. You tell a person, I celebrate that every month. Why? Because I read all the time, and I'm constantly learning. As Neely Fuller Jr. teaches us, I'm still learning. So don't allow nobody to box our history in for one fucking goddamn month. I don't allow that. Ain't nobody said no Black History Month to me. I'll say it to brothers and sisters, but I'm not. I wish some motherfucker would be like, well, happy Black History Month. I'll be like, every day is Black History. We built this country for free without repayment. Understand that. Know that. Like I said, stop worrying about Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving getting traded. And you better worry about what the fuck you got going on. Because them two Negroes are millionaires. You're not. So you putting all your eggs in the basket about what the fuck they doing. You better stop and look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, how much money am I getting out of this bullshit? Why I'm so worried about what player's going here, what player's not. And if this player's not playing, man, fuck them motherfuckers. Whether they play or they don't play, I'm not getting no money off that shit. And I don't make no money off they check. And man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Look, I gotta go. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it ain't. Again, shout out to my brother Dave from No Compromise. Go watch his YouTube. David, get at me, man. We'll do the live. Just remind me. Y'all know what it is. Y'all already know what it is. When y'all get done singing in the choir and doing all the bullshit, you know I'm gonna hit you with it. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.